Christian Academy collides with South Haven Christian School Patriots, looking to have another great path to the state championship. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside Brendan Daniel. Proud to be with you in Springfield, Tennessee. For Zion Christian, they've had a lot of struggles in the 11-man football scene in the last several years, but on a last-second decision that was at first in 8-man football back in the spring, out back to 11-man football, and then in just about 2 to 3 weeks ago, they're ready to have their first debut game, picking up the schedule for the dropped-out Riverside Christian Academy. Meanwhile, for the South Haven Patriots, everyone knows about that state championship run they had last year, but they're looking to erase that from the history books, and they're looking to try and start a new tenure, especially with losing a lot of seniors at the helm. Brendan, for Zion Christian, it's a lot of question marks about, is it an issue of quantity over quality, but for Zion Christian, at least from what we've looked at in the practices in the Jamboree, looks like they've got a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. It looks like they're ready to go at any moment. At the Jamboree, they were very impressed, and I'm hoping to actually see them do as good as the Jamboree and maybe come out even with a dub.
And for South Haven Christian, I mean, it's just a tough task for them to replace guys like Andrew Crawley and Emmanuel Dangs, all-stars in their respective rights and all-Americans from last year. James Sawyer's a company to regroup and reload to win this game and set the tone early for the 2021 season.
Well, if you know football, you know the saying, next man up, and you have no choice. So, hey, young guys that were sitting on the bench, practicing hard and working every day to get better, this is your time to shine now. Let's show out.
First home game for the Patriots. Springfield, Tennessee is the site. Zion, South Haven, next on 8-Man Extreme. As we welcome you back to Springfield, Tennessee. Coin toss about to happen here in National Anthem and Stadium in just a few moments. You see the meeting between Coach Phil Starnes, the athletic director for South Haven, as well as James Sawyers, the head coach for Patriots, and see Jeff Jordan, the head coach for Zion Christian Academy Eagles. Should be a fun afternoon, or essentially evening now, of 8-man football. They have their pre-field meetings and get into the action in just a few moments. Been the first 8-man football game ever for the Zion Christian Academy Eagles.
Okay, but you're still gonna have to shoot it from right there closer. That way we have a good connection. Yeah. Because it's not great out there in the middle of the field.
Captain's coming up in just a few moments for both South Haven and Zion. Likely we'll have our national anthem to follow.
One more time, can you give me a shot on the point toss?
Got a guy.
Are you one left short?
He's in traffic, yeah.
Oh, that's why they're
Should be
slow.
doing captains and national anthem, because that's what Larry said.
Yeah.
Direct your attention to the 40-yard line for tonight's opening coin toss.
The captains for the Patriots and Starnes, Sordo, and Batson. Then for Zion, you have looks like Abbott, Porter, Harrison, and King. James Sawyer's coming into 2021 season 6-2. Only 2 losses being to Franklin Christian, both in the regular season and at the state championship.
Might have to turn that camera off, turn it back on.
And Zion will receive, so we'll see the offensive schemes of Coach Jordan to kick off their 8-man football journey.
Remind them to stay on the sideline till you call them out, since you're waiting on one.
Are we kicking or are we receiving?
South Haven is, remind them to stay on the sideline till you call them out.
At this time, we ask you to please stand.
Now our national anthem.
Please remain standing for our national anthem. Leading us in prayer this evening is athletic director at South Haven Christian School, Mr. Phillips.
Yay.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening. We thank you for the opportunity to play football once again this year. But we thank you for the safety that you've given our friends from Zion. I pray that you give safety as they travel back home this evening. Lord, we pray that all that's done on this field this afternoon would give you glory and honor, that you would keep these players safe from injury. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hey, Quincy, look up. Go to the wing, move Kimbrough to umpire, start a 4-man. And then when Fred comes, switch back. Huh? 12.
Festivities about to be in full swing here. A lot of history about to happen in Springfield. Once again, Spencer Thompson and Brendan Daniel, alongside our Executive Director James Shannon and Jerry Jr., bringing you the action here from Springfield, Tennessee at Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park. Should be a fun evening.
One of our daughters went to, is it Destin, with her friend, their family, when tropical storms come through.
There's Michael Crawley trying to get his offense fired up. And then with the South Haven football program for many years. At least back here in the 2021 season. Of course, the questions around with his son graduating, he decided to come back just for his love of the game of football. And great story to see him still surrounded by several coaches he's worked with, including Jason Zimmerman on the offensive and defensive line, as well as Coach Sawyer's in his second year at the head coaching position, who's also been on the coaching staff. A lot of family and camaraderie with the with South Haven. I'm sure we'll learn about that with Zion Christian whenever we get to interview Jeff Jordan at some point down the line in this season.
To kick off for your Patriots is number 88. Excuse me, number 82. Matthew Royal.
Again, Zion won the toss and elected to receive. We'll have a kickoff to start off. Matthew Royalty, the junior, will boot it away to start out for the Patriots. They will try a defensive stand.
It's kickoff time in Tennessee.
And with the kickoff, away we go from Springfield, and it's an onside kick attempt, and this will be recovered by Zion's Max Brown. So we will see for the first time Zion Christian will be on offense in 8-man football. And of course, we mentioned it during our pregame introduction, Brendan. But Zion looked like it was not an issue of quality; it was just an issue of quantity. And having the numbers to field an 11-man team, and then last second having to drop out of their respective games that they had scheduled on the 11-man scene, and they're already an independent team, so they're able to do that with some other complications. But Zion looked really good at the Christian Community Jamboree. And first offensive play from scrimmage for the Zion Eagles. It's going to be a keeper by Kaiser. Gets to about the 35-yard line for a gain of 6 yards.
Yeah, just on time. Looks like Kaiser's still warming up and ready to go.
And Kaiser, the junior, starting at quarterback for the Eagles.
He was very impressive in the Jamboree. I plan to see him exceed my expectations today.
Not too many seniors on the Zion Eagles team, about 3 seniors. They're plentiful in juniors, so I mentioned in the intro with the next man up mentality. That's what they're trying to accomplish going into 2021 and even to 2022 as they give this one over to Josh Harrison. Take a loss on that play for 3rd and 5.
I don't get it wrong. South Haven's defense was on point at the Jamboree as well. And I did believe they played each other in the Jamboree. And South Haven gave Zion a run for their money defensive-wise.
And that Zion South Haven quarter in 7 plays from just 1 week ago. Again, the Eagles come in from the 11-man football scene. They've been independent for several years. They're not members of the TSSAA. They're just deciding to finally make a move. So the school based out of Columbia looking to shake things up on 3rd and 5. And a swat last second. A great defensive move by Dide Poa, the junior, makes it a 4th and 5.
Defense was ready for that one, I tell you what. Anytime you go in empty man field, hey, you might as well send a man or two.
And now the question, of course, with this being a 40-by-80 field, you always wonder when you get to that neutral zone of the field, do you go for it on this situation with 5 yards down? Do you punt it away and try to pin your opponent deep? This is one of those cases where Zion could make a statement their first ever offensive drive for 8-man football, and looks like they're going to opt to punt it away here for 4th down and 5. So no statements yet.
Hey, I'm already liking the game. Everybody's taking risks, so why not? I love it.
And they're just going to punt it away here, and almost a blocked punt. This one's going to go and bounce out of bounds to about the 15-yard line. Then we'll see the offense coordinated by Michael Crawley, and James Sawyer's coming into 2021 with a 6-2 record. He had a tough task to replace some of the seniors that they've left. And we'll see that in just a few moments. Here's a handoff. First offensive play of the year. Ben Sordo takes the carry, tries to avoid several tackles there, and gets a gain of about 2 yards, a 2nd down and 8.
Leading tackles number 77, Seth King. Now to bring up the Patriots, 2nd down.
Yes, he would have gotten more yards, but Noah completely was
So now on a 2nd down and 7. And Coach Sawyer's had a lot of gaps to replace. Andrew Crawley was the starting quarterback for several years. Emmanuel Dang was their top running back. We've now got about 4 to 5 seniors and a lot of leadership on the senior and junior level. They got a 2nd and 7 here. Gonna take this over. There's a left side by Sordo again. Great blocking by the offensive line. Tripped up and gets to about the 22-yard line, just a few yards short of the first.
Not only great blocking, but great stiff arm.
Not quite the Derrick Henry stiff arm yet, but good stuff.
He's going to lift a few more weights for that.
Just a few. And a lot of good positioning by the offensive line on that situation. This brings up now a 3rd and 2. They bring motion again. 3rd and 2. They're going to try and stuff it up the middle. And that Zion defensive line maybe gives them a yard on that. It's 4th and short.
That was one impressive thing about Zion as well. Their defense was good all around. They did not have any issues on stopping anybody during the jamboree.
They do call it a 1st down, actually. It gets past the marker. Looked like it may have been close on that with the initial spot, but ruled it for a 1st and 10. Michael Crawley has another set of downs to work with. Have yet to see any passing from South Haven on 1st and 10. Is what we might get here. Not this play and a handoff there. It's to Starnes. Gain of 1.
Brought down number 12, Brandon Porter, the Eagles. Now to bring up the Patriots, 2nd down.
About 7 minutes left to go in the first with about a 2nd and 9.
It's about to be a blitz coming in.
They do that here. We'll see our first passing play for South Haven. And what an opportunity. A good catch by Matthew Royalty. Gets a big gain to about the 30-yard line.
It's good pocket presence by the quarterback. Just a nice sit in there and let that ball fly.
First down.
If you can't hear that, I told him to be quiet, it's too loud.
She did last night. She said, turn the other direction.
But he was closer than he was now.
So now in Eagles territory. Patriot offense getting a big gain there. Matthew Royalty, the junior, getting that last reception. It looks like they go for another toss. Quick out to Starnes, and it's an interception! Zion is going to get a pick six, and the junior, Max Brown, scores the first touchdown in Zion Christian. Hear all of the air horns going off. Looks like Zion showed up on the Saturday afternoon from Columbia. About maybe an hour and a half from here.
Let's hope that team shows the same.
And they lose the ball on the snap there, so the two-point conversion attempt is no good. First score in history in 8-man football for Zion, and it's on a pick six. Max Brown takes the lead early. First score already for the Eagles on a pick six. This goes about halfway through the first quarter in order to accomplish that. Attempted return by Gabriel Dang, the younger brother of Manuel, the freshman. It's a decent return there to about the 29-yard line. About the 29.
Patriots, first down.
I think I have a man crush on you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, he's on the air. Always the black guy, you can't take him anywhere.
First and 10. Carry the left side as Batson gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Brandon Porter, that'll bring up a Patriots, second down. Along number 73, Riley Heitzman.
Heitzman with the tackle there. 2nd and 14. Handoff over, Sordo. Sordo getting past the defense. We got our first penalty of the game, a flag from the far side. Sordo weaving through the defense, finally brought down at about the 45. Let's check the flag. We get our first word of the day from Larry Tidwell.
13 grade with a hole up there.
Brought down by number 7, Jack Willows. Penalty markers on the field.
During the play, holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay the down.
Holding on the offense. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Still remaining, 2nd down.
So even with that great run from Sordo, they bring it all the way back to the 11-yard line. Second down and long. Here's another carry. That shovel pass initially to Ben Sordo. He's got space again. Ben Sordo trying to get to the end zone. Pushed out of bounds. A touchdown saving push by Max Brown. But what? What we've already seen from this Patriots offense right off of the bat is they know how to get big offensive gains quick and early, put themselves in situations to score. Now inside of the red zone. First and 10. There's another handoff up the middle, tripped up by Zion's defensive line. Looks like a carry by Starr. Clock winding down at 2nd and 6. So another handoff. Carry again left side by Starnes. So 3rd and 1 inside the 10-yard line.
Safety might want to watch that receiver.
Won't have to now as it's a direct carry by Sordo. They'll get the first down. If you didn't know already, it's a first down. Shout out to Corey Terrell, PA announcer here in stadium for Patriots. Now 1st and goal for South Haven. And the ball placed on about the 2-yard line.
Got it in.
As they're going to hand it off, trying to push it through, and that touchdown, Jake Atkinson, the junior. 2-point conversion attempt coming up. South Haven tries to take the lead early on. They try to move around some of the offensive schemes here. Motion again. Toss quick and intercepted. But at the high school level, not yet. You can't run back a touchdown. All here in Springfield.
No, you're right, Fred. You should be the receiver. There you go.
1:42 remaining in the first quarter. Tied at 6-all.
Just from what I expected from this game, nice and tight.
Yeah, you saw a preview of it in the CCS Jamboree where one quarter was shared between these two respective schools.
Looks like the wind's affecting the ball placement today.
Picking it up a little bit, and they move the ball back to the 30-yard line.
Yes, for everybody that's watching right now, this is going to be a great game. And I believe me and James called it during the show that this is probably going to be one of the good ones.
And that bounces off of Zion. South Haven's going to get the recovery. Great effort by the Patriots. Bounced off of Cannon Kofrin. And now the Patriots get a recovery. They're going to get another set of downs.
How the hell did this happen?
Boxing in that. They get ready for the run plays every time.
Start out, they'll lob it in the backfield. And that's Starnes again. Takes almost the entire defensive line for
use ground, get up, use ground, get up.
To stop them. Loss of 2.
Number 12. Brendan Pepper. And they bring up the Patriots.
Hey guys, when we get to this quarter break, we'll give them an extra few seconds to water down, okay?
Covered by the clouds here, still kind of humid here in Springfield. It's right now a nice 79 degrees, feels like 84. It should cool down throughout the rest of the evening. Another handoff, left side, as Sordo gets a gain of about a yard. 3rd and 11 coming up.
Hey, we got 2 sticks, 2 sticks.
To see how Coach Crawley responds to the defensive stands. Trying it on 3rd and 11. They're going to try and toss it
Ball's away.
up the middle and incomplete just through the – looks like it bounced off of the chest pad of Sordo.
Hey, we're going to be
And
fourth
as
down.
time expires in the first quarter, we're
markers
tied
before we
at
do
6-all.
it.
The fields will be switched. 4th down coming up.
4th and 11 from 35. That's easy.
The Keepin.com Stream Game of the Week is sponsored
4th and
by
11.
Brace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way, and by Fairlife Core Power Protein. Work hard, recover harder. Second quarter getting underway here in Springfield, tied 6-all as the Eagles of Zion collide with the Patriots of South Haven. And on 4th down, they'll go for it here, and this is a carry by Ben Sordo to the right side. He's going to get a first down and shoved out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. A great first down for South Haven.
I'm going to say South Haven is going to pull out a lot of trickery out the playbook. I'm liking it already. The onside kick and now this.
Again, in situations where you could punt in that place, that's one of the different things of 8-man football. You could punt. Why not try to set the tone early in your first game of the season?
I'm not sure why you did that, but okay.
It's now on the 33-yard line. Get some movement there, and we're saying that all last night. And of course, with the first week of the regular season, you'll see those kind of things occur. But it's another case of working out shaking off the rust from the off season. Now 1st and 5, as it's going to be Sordo again. They trust him a lot with the ball as he heads to the outside. Ben Sordo trying to get a first, to try to get a touchdown there, but short of. Between Sordo and Lorio, TJ Lorio from last night, who got the extreme player of the game.
Oh, he was the obvious pick, though. This is the first candidate. So we're just going to go ahead and put that energy out there.
We'll just keep him keep him tabbed. We'll keep him as a candidate there, and we'll go from there. Of course, it's ultimately up to the coaches on whichever player they name for the extreme player of the game. 1st and goal. Patriots trying to take the lead here as this is shoveled Right side and trying to push through. There's a flag on the far side. Zion's defense says no. Let's check the flag.
A 10-yard penalty, still remaining. First down.
Just over 10 minutes left to go before the end of the first half. Still a 1st and goal, but this will be back on the 15-yard line. Left side, that's pitched in the backfield. Atkinson. Gain. Wrap-up tackle there. That's 7-on-7. So 2nd and goal. Patriots with a block in the back penalty outside of the 10-yard line here. They look for another passing option. Toss across the middle and almost another interception, but this one would have been by the senior Elijah. Zion had tight coverage there and looked like it was on Starnes. He was going out for the route.
Yeah, when it's time, I mean, sometimes you don't have time.
Here's a 3rd down, a shovel pass in the backfield. Sordo, Ben Sordo gets tackled from behind by Seth King. And King's helmet. Of course, no first downs here. They have to get it in the end zone. As far as I'm aware, there are no field goal kickers for South Haven this year. So this is going to be a touchdown attempt. Fourth and goal. Looking for it. Gets the pass and catch. Waited for the call. He's going to be ruled short. That's Ben Sordo. Looked like his feet were in the end zone on that play, but the question is, did he get in there? And with that turnover on downs, Zion will start deep in their own territory on about the half-yard line.
Hopefully we don't have the same incident like last game.
Well, that was from a long snap about at the 7-yard line. But you're right. If we see 2 safeties in 1 week, that might be a miracle. As a timeout called by Zion Christian. So close call at the end. A close call at the end of that drive. It looked like it could have been ruled in, but turnover on downs as Zion is forced for a safety. Waiting on the signal, they rule him for forward. And of course, by the rule, it's where the ball is. So that's where you have to look at that on the line shot of where the ball is.
And the ball was out when he went down.
Mm-hmm. And trying to take it up. That's a safety. Unless he could push it past, and yep, nope, safety. And South Haven takes the lead 8-6.
It's tough to run in a position like that. You got to at least try a little trickery on that.
Well, this is one of the few times, maybe even the first time in 8-man football, where there's two safeties in separate game, or a safety in two separate games in 1 week. You've witnessed history if you watched both evenings with us. It was tied at 6 now with the safety 8-6 as we get a return attempt here from the Patriots. This Gabriel Dang finding space. The freshman gets across midfield to the 35-yard line.
Making a name for himself on the team.
His brother made a name for himself in his history. It was of course, a state champion back in 2017 when he was a freshman, and runner-up last year, and now a first down on the 34-yard line.
But it's things that I
Now the Patriots trying to capitalize after getting the safety. Trying to widen the gap as they hand it off to Starnes. Gets past a tackle. Starnes down to about those yards after contact.
Those are the biggest yards when it comes to running backs. Yards after contact, that's the ones you want.
If we can get first down. At the 11, we can get a first down.
And what's different from a situation they had on their last offensive drive with it being on the 11-yard line? Any penalties, or if they at least get to the 2 or 1, can get a first down here. Trying to increase to a 14-6 lead if they could punch it in here. First down inside the red zone. Handoff again at Starnes trying to push through. Got maybe a yard or two after contact, and there is a flag.
Brought down number 22. Wide Haynes, the Eagles, a penalty marker is on the field.
They called it.
Personal foul. Helmet to helmet. Half the distance.
First helmet of the day.
And more flags fly.
Penalty marker on the field.
Looks like maybe some unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, definitely.
Hope it doesn't get too chippy as we get through the rest of the evening.
Unsportsmanlike on the offense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty. Replay the down.
I believe 18 got the chirping.
I didn't see what happened there. It looked like there was possibly some fighting between the players.
There's a lot of chirping going on.
They are having the official talk to Coach Sawyers.
Give me a number. 5. It was on 5. No, Keaton. 19. 19. Yep. That's what he just said. Thank you.
So at least with this 15-yard penalty, they are going to move it back. And this will put them at the 21-yard line. And they could still get a first down here. Much longer hill for them to climb.
They can climb it as long as they keep their pose together. That's when you got to lean on your teammates to be like, hey, guy, calm down. I know you were putting up for me, but I need you to relax.
Now first and long, here's another carry from Ben Sordo. Getting to the outside, Sordo gets inside the 10-yard line and brought down.
Sordo's proving my point, but he looks a little hurt.
Sordo down as they were having that tackle, and he got brought to the ground. Looks like he's back up on his feet. Brings up now a 2nd down and 7.
Go ahead and give Sordo the ball. Let him get a touchdown in here. He's worked this hard. Pay the man.
He got about a 10-yard carry on the last one. I'd be interested to know what his statistics are throughout the game. As they hand it off this time to Starnes, who's got an opening on the left side. Starnes gets past Williams. Starnes to the end zone. There is a flag. Right now it is a touchdown.
That might be holding. It's going to bring him back.
during the run. On the offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Block in the back. On the Patriots.
So block in the back there. Several penalties in a row called on South Haven.
That's going to cost you. I'm sure it's going to be a big little talking during halftime. Meanwhile, Zion's defense is getting a little break thanks to the penalties.
About a 2nd and 17. There's a handoff again. Here goes Sordo. It's about 6 yards. Brings up 3rd down and 11.
Patriots, 3rd down.
They gotta do something. Every play that kid's helmet comes off.
You can get a first down here. You can get a first down.
Well, like he said, too, when the helmet come off the coach and stuff, but it didn't.
Yep.
But like I said, it's hard to see when you're down there.
That's just being first game. You gotta get the rust off.
Yeah.
We'll have that conversation at halftime.
So 3rd and 11, the Patriots have a decision to make here. They can get a first down with all the penalties and everything aside. It's just another one of the challenges they have to overcome, especially trying to take a bigger lead into halftime in a game that's been very close. And perfect time to tell you that coming up is the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report. Get you highlights and analysis from this game. We'll also get you a score from the other game that's going on in the 8-man football world. Actually, not yet, because that game doesn't start until 7 o'clock. But that's between the Knights of Classical and the Lions of Providence. So Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report coming up in just a few moments. Timeout by South Haven. .323 left to go before the end of the first half. The Patriots have had several penalties over and over, but it's now a 3rd down and 11 as they try to punch it in and have a more commanding lead going into halftime. As they toss it towards the end zone. Touchdown! Jake Atkinson, the junior, and another 6 points for the Patriots.
Great catch, great patience by the wideout. As you can see. Watch as he hikes the ball. Man's by himself. Defense doesn't even realize he's wide open. Even I didn't.
3 Eagles around him, but not close enough to swat it away. Now a 14-6 lead for South Haven. Chance for them to make it a 10-point lead.
But I was watching your shots. They're good. Good call. I just have to pick and choose which one was better.
On that. He can't keep lobbing inches on that.
It looks like Noah's in the back.
2-point conversion attempt for the Patriots.
Punch it in.
Trying to punch it in. They'll shovel it in the backfield. This one to Starnes. Starnes, that's the walk in the park. 16-6. Starnes gets the 2-point conversion and a touchdown for Jake Atkinson.
Royalty.
So are we.
Royalty set to kick off here for the Patriots. The lights turned on here at Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park. 3:17 left to go until head into halftime, and immediately caught by Jack Williams. No onside kick recovery there for the Patriots. That'll shave off 3 seconds, and we'll see what Zion's offense can do. Try and shave this lead down to 4 points. They'll start out on the 38-yard line for the Patriots. You see, that's one of the traditions. Of course, Jason Zimmerman is the offensive and defensive line coordinator. So he always has it as those on the line for the defensive side, knee down, waiting for the play, anticipating what will happen on the defensive front. One of many traditions for the Patriots as this shovel pass goes in the backfield. Carry there by Logan Abbott. And the ball popped loose, waiting for the call or signal. They stop it at about the line of scrimmage, and South Haven gets the turnover.
The result of the play, here will be a Patriots.
Well, as you see with the front, nice little option play. Flicks it off to him. But the contact, as he tried to forward a stiff arm, that's what you climb in for the defense, try to punch that ball out. Perfect play by the defense.
And so what was a good opportunity for the Eagles to march down and shave down the lead, their only score thus far has come from their defensive side. Now first down on the 38-yard line. And flags fly.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
First down.
What number, Bear? What just happened? What we just do?
First and 15 for the Patriots. Yeah, it's a handoff up the middle. Carry there for Starnes. And gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Brought down by host the Eagles. Penalty markers on the field.
These penalties are really hurting South Haven out here.
Be a 15.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Will be a first down.
Correction. It's a face mask for Zion.
It will be a Patriots.
Decent amount of flags thrown tonight. Tidwell getting his mic time in. Of course, for both teams, it's also time for probably laps in practice with the amount of penalties on both sides.
Yeah, he's going to hate it for those kids. Been there, done that.
The new set of downs for the Patriots outside of the 30-yard line. So they'll do the option. Here goes Sordo. Ben Sordo, right side. He's going to get down to about the 20-yard line, and there's a flag. So they'll add some to the end of the play there. Looks like Sordo is a little shaken up.
Yeah, the way he's getting taken now.
You hear me? Half the distance.
You see, you thought his microphone was off, but now it is on. But, yeah, they add the run to the end of the play, and first down.
That'll be half the
No,
distance.
they didn't get that. What number was that? Hey, is there an ejection here? Hey, James, look.
Personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. The result of the play, he will be a Patriot!
The Patriots still get a first down there.
First down!
It's now first and goal.
We go with run on the left.
Going to go up the middle this time, and they give that to Starnes. It's a carry to about the 7-yard line, 3-yard gain.
That'll bring up a Patriot. Second down.
Under 2 minutes before we get to halftime.
Keep playing that bully ball. Bulldoze those kids in.
Handoff. Carry and immediately met at about the line of scrimmage. Starnes.
He was brought down by number 77.
Zion was ready for that run play.
That'll bring up a
As they
Patriot.
call a timeout here with 1:31 left to go before halftime. Zion will take a chance to think it over as you see the replay here. .131 remaining in the first half as South Haven trying to extend their lead even more with the fumble recovery from the other side of the field. Here's the third down.
Sitting in the blitz.
Handoff. Got space and a touchdown for the Patriots. Dide Pua, the junior, gets another 6 on the board.
And when in doubt, trust your fullback. Give him some love. See, the fullback is the most unloved position because rarely do they get the ball, but they get the right blocks. See right here? Give him the ball real quick. Easy walk in. Defense isn't prepared for it.
Make that now 22-6. It started getting one-sided ever since that interception happened by Zion. Again, about 8 minutes ago, the game between Providence Christian and Franklin Classical was supposed to kick off. So we'll get you scoring updates on that at the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report as we get them. 2-point conversion attempt. Brilliant move by Ben Sordo in the corner of the end zone. Sordo receiving it there, and now 24-6.
Perfect pass by the quarterback of South Haven. Right on the spot. Good little dime. Nice spin on the ball. Perfect catch by, oh, is that my MVP?
And not much for Max Brown to do in coverage. Makes it now 126. Get you some highlights and analysis from the first half of this game and scoring updates and all that coming up on the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report.
Back to receive for the Eagles is number 9. Jack Brown. To kick off for your Patriots, number 82, Matthew Royalty.
Royalty set to kick off again. Wonder if Royalty's tried any field goals. Wonder if he's tried any of those in practices.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going for 2-point all game.
Another onside kick attempt, and Zion touched it. Still loose. It looks like the Eagles got the recovery.
Ball's recovered by number 33, Josh Harrison of the Eagles.
Zion's got to learn how to drop on that ball instead of trying to catch it. If they're going to keep trying to onside kick it, they got to learn how to either let it bounce or drop on it. Something definitely they'll probably be practicing now.
First it'll be the laps during practice for all the penalties. Then they'll try to fine tune everything else.
There'll be laps and up downs.
It's going to be a rough week. So now on a 1st down and 10. Goes toss, catch made at about the line of scrimmage. Here goes Logan Abbott. He's got some space and another 1st down for Zion.
See, those screenplays always work for Zion in the jamboree as well, so why not keep it going?
You can see on the replay there the toss and the spacing he has. And they're going to hurry up here knowing fully well they don't have much time to work with. Another set of downs inside of the 30-yard line. And flags there.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
Lucky break there for Zion. Still keeps the clock rolling. 1st and 5.
Well, let's be the fly on the ball of both practices.
They're just letting the time run down. They were in such an urgency, and they've now just wasted about 15 seconds, and there's another flag.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
So now even more of an unfortunate turn of events. Wasted down here, and they're going to toss it to the right side, and what a catch!
Whoa.
A touchdown! Max Brown in the corner of the end zone, and confetti flying by the fans. Another 6 points for the Eagles.
What a play, what a play. As you can see on replay, the quarterback running for his life, but he's well aware he has a guy down the field. He launches that ball perfectly down to the wide receiver, and he catches it. Easy walk in.
I don't think the Eagles are quite done yet. Only down by 12 right now. Try to make it a 10-point game.
But this is what we suspected from them. Don't count them out just yet. They'll come back with surprises.
Still handed off up the middle and immediately met by that South Haven defensive line, so it'll remain a 12-point game right now. Patriots still leading over the Eagles here. And see the replay attempt on the 2-point conversion.
Just nice little stuff up by South Haven. Can't do it any better.
Give it about 20 seconds.
Well, this right here, oh, that, okay. Yeah, it just depends on whenever I put
As you see the Patriots thinking it over, and you wonder, especially with how close it is to the end of the first half, if they'll just knee it down to go into the halftime locker room, or if they're going to try to do another trick play or something like that. We've seen these kind of things from Coach Crawley before.
I say, why not go for it? You're taking risk all game. Keep it going. Keep Zion's defense on their feet. That's the only way to be a team sometimes.
The problem is an entire game takes up, I know gigs don't mean anything, but it takes up about 50, 55 gigs for an entire game for all 3 teams. So.
Ouch. You know, it's Metro. They can afford it.
As Zion will boot it away. And touch off of Sordo, so that'll waste down some time on the clock. He's going to take the return to about the 30-yard line, and that takes it down to 12 seconds. Not a whole lot of time for the Patriots to work with if they want to attempt something here.
Nah, at this rate, might as well kneel it. It'd be different if you had a great advantage from the field, but seeing that you had a little gain, just kneel it and let's go back to the half.
What could be the last play of the first half. Looks like they're not going to need it. They'll at least go for something here. 12 seconds. Toss, right side, catch made. Starnes. It's a gain of several yards, and Patriots do call a timeout with 2.3 left. You have to wonder what Sawyers and company are thinking of right now with the final seconds in the first half. For those of you tuning in, that shot you're seeing right now is actually, I believe it's held by duct tape and a prayer to the field goal post. Zip ties, as our executive director is telling us about that. But held down by zip ties and a lot of prayers off of that field goal post. But good shot. It was that good shot, too, by Jerry Jr. down on the sideline. What do you think the Patriots are trying to cook up here with 2 seconds left?
I say either a little screenplay or a nice little shot all the way out to the field goal. Never know. They played a lot of trickery plays, and, you know, I barely been able to keep up. Usually I'm good with the calls, but not today, guys.
You just wonder how many different things they're trying right now.
Hey, first game, try anything you can.
Now this for sure will be the last play of the first half. See if the Patriots are going to try to air it out. As time expires. Deep toss, right side. The catch is made, but 5 yards short of the end zone. They had the idea. Royalty had the reception, but not enough for them to work with. So that will end the first half. We see the final play there. They had the right idea. It's just Royalty maybe needed another step and need to be a deeper ball.
Yeah, if only he could outrun that space just a little bit. He had to slow down for the ball to come to him, but at the same time, that gives the corner enough time to run up to him and catch him as he gets.
Halftime coming up in a moment. We'll be back in just a few seconds for the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report here from Springfield. Welcome to the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report. Spencer Tomset alongside Brennan Daniel. Sure, we'll get on screen in just a moment, but at least for now, we are there. We go. Thank you so much, James Shannon. Welcome in, and right now, score that's not as lopsided as it originally was. Now 24-12, South Haven leading over Zion, and first score in 8-man football history for Zion has happened tonight, and that was on an interception return. But it's since that point, South Haven has just flicked the switch, and they've taken control of this ball game.
Well, it's as expected. South Haven comes out with trickery plays, and if you watch the Jamboree, this is what we expected from South Haven. That was one of the problems with Zion. They couldn't really get the stopping of the run plays and trick plays because there's a lot of motion with South Haven. So it confuses the defense. They don't know who's going to get it or who's going to even catch the ball maybe. You never know because South Haven's pulled out good passing plays out here, and the wideouts have been doing their job completely.
I think that's the big factor for Zion especially is that their defense, they just can't read through those offensive schemes that the Patriots have been throwing at them throughout the first 24 minutes of the game. But for Zion, they're trying to make a statement, get their first win in 8-man football history. What is it going to take for them to get that win here, especially on the road?
It's just going to be defense has to step up. The offense is doing great. Penalties are definitely killing both sides of the team, but, also turnovers for Zion is killing them. And that's a big major factor. If you have more turnovers than the other team, you have plenty of issues scoring and keeping up.
Yeah, the scoring has been an issue thus far, but looks like that's your Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling halftime report. We'll be back in about 12 minutes here from Springfield. Stay tuned for the second half coverage of the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Thank you again for watching the Iceberg Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Halftime Report. We welcome you back to Springfield for the start of the second half between the Patriots of South Haven, who lead 24-12 over the Eagles of Zion Christian. And again, welcome to everyone watching around the world. Spencer Thompson alongside Brendan Daniel here at Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park in Springfield, Tennessee. Zion looked like they had a little bit of a burst going into the second half. And as we get a return here from South Haven, that's the question now for Zion is what was said in the halftime locker room. Does it have enough of a fire in them to make it back in this game? And it's definitely within reach with just 12-point difference right now. But that's the big question.
I'm sure Coach Preach, stop moving and please stop dropping the ball.
Yeah, please stop dropping the ball. Please stop committing penalties. And that kind of stuff. That's the hope, at least. It's now 1st and 10. The Patriots will start out on their own 28-yard line. As they hand it off right side, Ben Sordo, who's shaken up a little bit in the second quarter, gets through for a first down. We stopped at the 36-yard line.
Looks completely healthy to me.
Looked a little shaken up earlier, but he's good.
Hey, sometimes you just need a half to take a little break, get some water in, get a little talking from your coach, and go out here like a newborn baby.
I think Brendanisms is now going to be the term we'll coin for the season.
Y'all get ready. I have plenty.
So new set of downs, 1st and 10 on the 36. Got motion out there. There's a handoff yards after contact. A good carry by Noah Starnes. And it'll be a gain of about 3 yards for 2nd and 7.
That's tough to start right there. When you get in a little nice head-on collisions, it's pretty tough.
Now 2nd down and 7 for South Haven. This Patriots offense again leading by 12. Trying to set it up to 18. Handoff again. Starnes. Just about 2 yards short of the line of gain. It brings up 3rd down here, but we've seen the Patriots in 3rd and just short situations throughout tonight's contest, and very, very good percentage on their 3rd down conversions.
Very efficient. If they have no penalties.
Same can be said about Zion.
Yeah, but the penalties haven't been hurting them more than Zion.
Third and 2. Just have a keeper. Direct snap to Sordo as he will push through for the first down.
Ask your man to get the ball if you need a first down.
Brought down by number 73. Riley Heisman of the Eagles. The result of the play. It will be a Patriots! First down!
You know, I do throat coat tea with honey in the mornings. I can only imagine the routine for Corey Terrell to keep his vocal cords intact for all the games he does throughout the year. Because he goes straight from football to basketball and then doing some other sports and everything. Baseball as well.
I need his secret.
Yeah, very much. Here's to the right side. Sordo Got some space and gets to about the 11-yard, or just shy of the 10-yard line. Yep, at the 11, so another chance for them to get a first down as good gain for South Haven.
If you check the replay here, right there, you see all those blocking right there? Perfect for him to get past them and just make it right at the field, at the goal line, right on the 10.
Beautiful sunset here in Springfield as we get a little bit deeper into the night. Again, this game pushed back an hour to a 6 p.m. kickoff. As they hand it off, here's Poa.
Number 10,
And Pua with a gain of about 6 yards.
brought down by host the Eagles. And to bring up a Patriots. Second down.
You can tell no sense of urgency really for the Patriots here. That's part of, I think, probably part of the strategy with just controlling the tempo and running out the clock as much as they can, especially with having a 12-point lead. Just not give the Eagles as much time to try and march it down the field.
They're playing chess, and Zion has no choice but to play checkers.
Hoping that someone will say king me eventually as Noah Starnes goes up and it'll be stopped for forward progress. About back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe a yard or two gain. Yeah, they get up to about the, looks like they're spotting it at the 5-yard line, so about third down and 4.
You already know who the ball's going to. I ain't even got to say it.
Oh, if it's filled, leave him there. That's fine.
Only thing is, can Zion's defense stop him?
We're good. Leave him there. We're good. Leave him there. They're much better on our left side. That's what I was about to tell. Our left side is their weak side. Our left. Almost no signal from me.
Third down and 4. There's a handoff again. Starnes trying to push through. It's now going to be a 4th down and short. All they have to do is get about a yard or two to extend their drive. They'll actually spot this backwards, so about 4th and 3.
And obviously, they're going to go for it. I mean, why not run, get some extra time down? If you make it, you won. And if you didn't, hey, defense has been doing great guys with Zion.
Possibly a chance in what they did where they missed that touchdown just barely at the goal line. They pinned Zion deep to get that safety. It might be part of the strategy here. But of course, better for them to get a touchdown in that case, but trying to at least get the first down. See if the Zion defense can make a stand. As we've got a timeout called by South Haven with 5:12 left to go in the third. South Haven had a chance to think it over with 5:12 left to go in the third. They have to gain to the 2-yard line to get a first down here. Just about a 3-yard gain necessary. And movement.
That's tough for South Haven. Looks like it's going on them.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Now you start all over again. What's the plan now?
Now about 4th down and 7. You see the false start shown there. Have to regroup on that. So it was just about a 3-yard gain, as now they have to get 8 yards here. A 4th down attempt. Toss right side, incomplete, and turnover on down. Zion gets the stand. Pass intended for Noah Starnes.
On downs, the result of the play, it will be an Eagles first down.
Let's see what this Zion offense can do as they start out on their own 9-yard line. Long way to go to March to at least get it to a 1-score game. And here's Kaiser. Ball lost and recovered by.
It was recovered by number 2, Logan Abbott.
Looks like Abbott got the recovery, and
It's
just been ball security has been the name of the game tonight. And fortunately for Zion, it didn't go the wrong way.
Yeah, I guess the speech didn't get through all the way, huh? I guess he's going to have to talk to the guys even more when they come back off on the timeout.
It lasted a little bit going out of halftime, then just right there, a moment of weakness. 2nd down with pressure, gets the pass off, reception, and incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Looked close, like he had it in possession first, but that bang play, incomplete.
3rd down.
Looks like they're going to have to practice holding on to that ball as well. Zion's going to have a rough practice coming up. Good luck, fellas.
Yeah, rough practice, and you look at the schedule for Zion going into the remainder of the season. They start out tonight. One of the lighter schedules for Zion. Well, they have bye weeks in October is when they have their rest, but they've got a lot of back-to-back games.
And that's going to hurt you being so young and being on the road so much.
As 3rd down, they toss to the right side, overthrew his intended target of Max Brown. Kaiser trying to get the pass off, and now a 4th down. But for Zion on their schedule, they're at South Haven Courts tonight. Next week, they have another Saturday game where they have their first home game of 8-man football hosting Classical. Then host Providence, Tennessee Heat, Franklin Christian. So they got 4 home games straight in the next several weeks, but no bye week out of 8 games total.
It's going to be a little rough for them. Hopefully Coach knows how to talk to his boys and keep them in line.
South Haven, they've got 7 games straight, including this one. But next week they travel on the road to Antioch to collide for their first matchup in the North against the Lighthouse Lions. Then they host Classical and then travel to Knoxville on a Thursday to face off against the Tennessee School for the Deaf.
Shout out to my hometown, Knoxville. Love you, baby.
Show you love going back to visit there when we head up there on that Thursday night. There's 4:45 left to go, and with the punt away, it'll be a turnover on downs here, or excuse me, just a change of possession. First and 10 for Patriots as Sordo tried to get through the defensive line there. Got a gain to about the 5-yard line.
Nice bounce outs and bull throughs through that defense. Gotta love it.
Leads it up.
Looking like the player of the game out here, like I called it, man. Hate to tell you.
Told you we'd have we have him bookmarked, and at this point we're on the page. we are very much on the page for that. Sordo has just been good on both sides of the ball tonight.
I'm hoping 2 in a row. 2 in a row. Let's keep this win streak from me getting the player of the game right.
Now, in terms of your predictions, let's not talk as much about that. Wonder how James's predictions are going to be for week 1. I haven't even looked. I believe 3-2 is the record right now as a carry up the middle. Atkinson is going to break the goal line and another touchdown for South Haven.
That's all offensive line right there, baby. You see? Defense wasn't quite set up for a blitz, but hey, I guess they just thought they were probably going to do a little trick play and pass the ball. But hike that ball, run straight in, right on top of the defense, no problems.
Another score for the Patriots as they go for the 2-point conversion attempt. Try to make it a 20-point lead.
Instantly stopped.
Instantly read through by the Zion defense. 3:43 left to go in the third. A 30-12 lead here for the Patriots at home.
To kick off for the Patriots, number 82, Matthew Royalty.
3:43 left to go in the third quarter here in Springfield. It's just been a game of onside kicks here as it's tapped up, and it'll be a possession at the 34-yard line for Zion.
The result of the play, it will be an Eagles first down.
$18-point lead for the Patriots right now. This is one of those situations where essentially on this drive, Zion has to score if they want to have a reasonable chance of coming back in this game.
Absolutely. They can't just give it up. They got to keep doing whatever they can just to make it.
And that pass in the backfield to Abbott, who's had contact with the ball a decent amount of times, and gain of about 3 yards.
Chase down by number 5.
It's about time to dig in that playbook, see what you can find. Get this defense back on their feet.
They run that again, keep an eye on him because he's almost pitching it forward. So if he ever drops it, you got to incomplete. Don't let it catch his net. Okay.
No, I agree.
Now an actual gain of 4 yards on a 2nd down and 6, and back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard gain there at carry up the middle, looked like by Abbott, and correction on that, actually. It's Josh Harrison, the senior, who had the carry, and he's up for about 3rd and 5. And you wonder with the amount of the limited time that they have left, if the Zion doesn't have really any sense of urgency here, and they're just rushing the ball.
It's kind of highly questionable. Do they want to win this game, or is this game just a little prep game, you know, just to get all the kinks and bunks out? Maybe the Jamboree wasn't the kink and bunk game they needed. Maybe South Haven is the game they actually needed to get actually ready for the season.
And movement there, flags flying.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. Be a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Still remaining. 3rd down.
Looks like that's a little play in their favor, huh?
Good favor there for Zion. Clock will continue to wind down with that, and under 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd. Great sunset here in Springfield. See the time winding down as third and 3. They'll hand it off again. It's Harrison, and tries to weave through.
Josh Harrison.
They'll spot him, I believe, short of the line of scrimmage. Actually, they'll spot him back a yard short. So 4th down and 4 coming up for the Eagles.
Still no sense of urgency on Zion's part.
And as we mentioned, it's one of those drives where essentially Zion has to score if they want any chance of getting back into the game. But not trying to rush anything, just trying to, I guess, take their time on their drive, and they're now facing a 4th down and 3.
Guess they're taking slow and steady wins the race, huh?
And there's movement. I think they got him.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. The result of the penalty will be a 1st down.
The result of the play, it'll be an Eagles 1st down.
Lucky break for the Eagles.
Very lucky. Once again, defense, you got to learn. Watch the ball, not the quarterback.
Puts him on the 34-yard line. They'll hand this off to Abbott again. Excuse me, that's actually Max Brown carrying the ball. Finds some space on the left side. Abbott trying to get past the South Haven defenders, and that'll stop the clock at least. So no more time being wasted there as over to the 23-yard line.
That's the way to get back in the game. Pull some trickery out.
The result of the run, it will be an Eagles 1st down.
And I believe with that, Zion is just going to let the clock wind down to the end of the 3rd. So that's going to do it here. 12 minutes left in regulation. 30-12, South Haven leads over Zion in the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week, which I tell you is sponsored by First Horizon, all things financial. Crutcher's Auto Repair, trusted by Franklin since 1980. And by Kingdom.com, the ministry technology provider. Start of the fourth quarter, as you'll see a little bit of action on here. This toss incomplete. A little bit there. Takes off about 7 seconds here in Springfield. Again, Spencer Thompson, Brendan Daniel, Executive Director James Shannon, and Jerry Shannon Jr. down on the sidelines getting our camera and such. We'll have Audrey Green with us next week here at Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Park in Springfield, Tennessee for 30-12 lead by the Patriots over the Eagles. It's been a fun night thus far. Of course, Zion got their first touchdown in 8-man football history for their program. And .53 left to go in regulation. Pressure by the defense and just tossed away, and that'll go out of bounds.
Smart play, way to just throw out that ball without any problems.
And you know, the officials are looking at each other. That's the question of, was it intentional grounding? You look at the multitude of factors that are involved in that. There's a flag on the sideline, so they may have and it looks like we got a call.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
So instead of intentional grounding, it's an illegal formation there. At least that's what it was called on the field.
There was no receiver there. What do you see, Philip?
Sawyer's having a discussion with the officials. Looks like they're going to talk it over here. Because, you know, you thought it could have been intentional grounding on that because the ball going out of bounds. And the question was the receiver in the area?
I didn't see anybody around there. I think that might be intentional grounding.
So the officials are going to discuss it over again. That's Larry Tidwell. I believe Philip Kimbrough in discussion there as well.
Okay, he was standing at the 37 when he released it. That's where you want to drop your flag. Now you're going to have a long conversation with Zion, but it will pass. It will look good on tape. There was no receiver there. Yes.
A lot of discussion here on if this is intentional grounding or not. But at the end of the day, the officials just want to get it right.
Penalty marker on the field.
Looks like Tidwell's going to call him there. Still talking it over, I believe, with
We didn't walk off that first one, did we?
I believe Deion Jackson in discussion as well. So they're just trying to sort all this together.
Decline the illegal formation. So there were two flags. Illegal formation and intentional grounding.
5 yards, lost it down from the flag.
Here's Tidwell.
From the flag, Fred, from the flag.
He's moving the ball back, and then he's going to move it back again. Okay, he's good.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Penalty to be marked off from the flag. Lost it down.
So it was intentional grounding on there.
That'll be a 5-yard penalty. That'll be lost it down.
So they bring it all the way back to the 39-yard line in Zion's own territory.
Eagles, 3rd down.
And, you know, that was a question we were wondering because there are so many factors that go into intentional grounding on it. It's why they had a long discussion about it.
Yeah, but no man over there. You got to call that instantly.
Mm-hmm. Here's a 3rd down and long. And just be a keeper here, right side, and nowhere for Kaiser to go.
Looks like he almost decided to pass it, but instead decided to tuck it. If you're going to pass that ball and you see someone open, take that shot.
So Zion right at midfield. They've got a decision to make. Of course, they're down by 18. Likely they're going to go for it here, but that's a really long ways to go. They have to go for it in this situation. You just wonder what they can work up here because you haven't seen that many passing plays from Zion throughout the course of the game.
Not at all. We can tell that even in the Jamboree, they were mostly a running play team. So we're going to see if they can pull out some passing. It's going to be tough for them because this defense is ready for anything they've thrown at them so far.
So what might be Zion's last stand, the last chance to make an argument. Delay a game on the offense. So they'll move it back 5 yards.
That's rough. That's really rough. You're just going to have to – it's going to make it harder to get that first down.
So it looks like Zion's just going to opt to punt it away. And almost blocked again. This will go through the hands of Sordo. Tackle missed there, and Sordo at least picks it up and gets all the way to about the 23-yard line.
I say he made up for that drop. He almost even lost my vote.
Sordo over, but you have to look at the overall performance.
You know football, one mistake can cost you a whole play time.
Exactly. Now South Haven, like the name of the game now, is just to run down the clock here.
Absolutely. Run that clock, go home.
Get home a little bit earlier than usual. It'll be probably about 8:30 time this game gets done, or even shorter than that.
Probably fastest game of the season, maybe?
Well, only because it's about average. Usually it's about 2.5 hours on 8-man football high school game time. It would be 9:30 if this game had started at 7. Everything had gone still according to the plans and such. But there's the handoff up the middle, as that'll be a carry for about 7 yards.
Ball is out number 13, Noah Starnes. Tackle made by host the Eagles.
Just over 10 minutes left to go in regulation. Just be sure to stay tuned for the Fairlife Core Power Protein post-game report. Get an interview with the victorious coach, which likely will be James Sawyers. He'll give us his extreme player of the game and have them sample some Fairlife products, give them the T-shirt, and Mr. Brendan Daniel and I will wrap things up here from Springfield, heading into Extreme Talk tomorrow afternoon. Sordo to the right side. First down and a little bit more. Stopped out of bounds just shy of midfield. And they will spot it, I believe, at the 35-yard line.
The result of the play, he'll be a Patriot! First down!
South Haven fans loving it here in Springfield with the score right now.
Maybe not as hype as yesterday, though.
You have to think as well with the way the season ended last year, a lot of the Patriots fan base are looking for the chance to go back to the TSIAA championship. It's a good start tonight, as it's just kept by Batson. Wasn't sure what to do on that situation, and they'll spot it at the 39. Captured it at the 38-yard line. And it looked like Batson just wasn't sure what to do on that play.
They made the smart move, just take it and go. If you don't know what you're doing, just take the ball and go. Times like this, you just want to hold the ball and just make forward progress, get that clock running. You never want to get that clock to stop when you have a good lead like this.
It's now to a 2nd and 6. They do have Ben Sordo off for this play. Probably getting him some rest time, especially without how hard he's worked throughout the evening.
Absolutely, well deserved. Maybe sit him out the rest of the game.
This one handed off to Atkinson, who's also had some good action. Flag down.
Jake Atkinson, the penalty marker is on the field.
Let's get the word from Tidwell.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
On the offense. That'll be a 10-yard penalty.
Tidwell's had his fair share of mic time tonight. A lot of flags that have flown here in. Of course, I'll go ahead and review the tape going into the weekend or going into next week. Mostly been a quiet night on the officiating front.
Yeah, how is that a 14-yard penalty? That was a 14-yard penalty.
He's got long legs there. There will be a timeout called.
We were 3 yards in.
I believe Coach Sawyer is asking the officials about the timeout called by South Haven. I believe Coach Sawyer is wanting an explanation for something here.
We were 3 yards in. The holding took place right there.
7:47 left to go in regulation.
The flag hit the ground at 34. The football's on the 24.
7:46 left to go in regulation. Second down on the 25-yard line. Handoff right side carry. Lead that's Didi Pua. The great carry and just shy of the first down after the holding penalty.
It's like the players told coach, hey, you don't need to ask the ref. We'll answer for you.
That'll bring up Patriots. Third down.
No, yeah, well, Michael Crawley's offense has certainly performed well tonight. Just trying to get a first down here, possibly seal up the evening.
Prior to the snap, delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
5-yard penalty. Still remaining. Third down.
Unlucky break for South Haven. Third and 6. Handoff up the middle. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Carry by Starnes.
Smart move by that defensive lineman to back up. Almost got him for encouragement. One little step forward and then been encouragement.
It's now a fourth down situation here for the Patriots as they're trying to just run out the clock, and game essentially locked in. They get another first down, they can just run it out even more.
Zion's got to do their best to stop this run play. We'll wrap up.
Great start for the Patriots as they go through the rest of the season. Again, next week they have their matchup on the road at Lighthouse Christian School, their first in-division matchup of the year. It's early on.
10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And a punt away for the Patriots as this will go to about the 15-yard line or around that area. About 5:47 left to go in the game. Just a reminder again, the Fairlife Core Power Protein post-game report coming up here.
Actually, there was no contact even made before.
Again, likely the.
So it's closer like a 14-yard penalty.
Of course, at this point, 95% likely the Patriots will be victorious. We'll get James Sawyers give us his extreme player of the game. Brendan and I will wrap up the weekend. We'll get you an update from Classical and Providence whenever we can get a scoring update from there. That game occurring over in Murfreesboro. As Zion goes back on offense and a scramble here. Toss right side, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Intended target is number 3.
Another interesting factor we were told is that 3 starters are out for South Haven tonight. I believe just some other varying factors of why they have their 3 starters out, but it's one of those situations where not bad for 3 starters being out.
Absolutely not. And as I said at the beginning of the game, next man up. And it looks like those next men up took that very well.
You wonder how they're going to perform next week against Lighthouse when they actually have their starters in the game, too.
Oh, I'm sure they do fine. They look like they did great tonight.
Another scramble here for Kaiser. Being chased down and tries to get it to his man. Incomplete. Intended there for Max Brown.
Pass is incomplete. The intended target was number 3.
Great play by a defensive line. Way to just keep the quarterback back.
Third down.
Don't let him run forward. Just make him make a mistake if he can, or just bad throw.
Five and a half left here in Springfield. The 3rd down and 10 here for the Eagles.
Don't jump. Their clock's getting low.
On a 3rd down, toss incomplete.
QB looks a little frustrated, all that pressure on him. Makes it tough to make good passes out here if he can't get set and ready to throw.
Sure, there's a lot of frustration around the Zion bench and coaching staff and everyone involved. Sure, they'll just regroup and try to reload for next week in their game against Classical.
Did you have 1 off the line or 2? Use radio. Thank you.
Don't do it. There you go. Good job. They waited. And it did.
Nice punt from Zion as this goes down to the 28-yard line. This goes down to the 28-yard line, and like South Haven will just try to run it out here. There's a timeout taken by Zion. About 5:19 left to go in regulation as South Haven is just going to run it out here. Try to just continue to wind down the clock, and you can seal it essentially as a victory for the Patriots. They start out the season 1-0, and Coach Sawyers will improve to 7-2 overall.
Good dub today by the team, and look forward to next week.
Should be a good matchup. A gain of about a yard on that rush for a second down and 9. And we'll just hand this off about up the middle. Another carry there for Starnes. And just wrapping it up here in Springfield.
Third down.
Gain of a few yards there for a 3rd down and 6 as South Haven enters now under 4 minutes left in regulation.
Now in this situation, this is better. It changes everything.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Looks like they're just going to take another rush here. And the option pass in the backfield. That's a carry there. Give it to Gabriel Dang, who's got a 1st down. And how about a little bit more? Loses the football, and Zion recovers it.
Oh, that's a little rough one for him. He's sure going to pay for that one.
The good news is he's doing it in this situation where they're up by 18 and not doing it in a situation, as you see on the replay here.
Yep, nice little cutout, but
tried to secure it. He was transitioning it between his hands, and he just couldn't keep it secure.
Yeah, that's rough doing when you're on the run. You get excited because you see nothing but plain grass and no white jerseys in front of you.
Oh yeah. Hey, having everybody does good when Noah blocks.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal. When Noah blocks, we do well.
Everybody does well when Noah.
3:18 left to go in regulation. As they're going to air it out to the right side. Pass intended and incomplete. It's intended for Brandon Porter, the senior. Looked like he could have had it secured there, but saw several Patriots around him. Not much you could do, as you'll see here.
Yeah, as you can see, he throws the ball perfectly. But with double coverage caught up with him, and the ball took too long to come.
It's like Atkinson and Caleb Sordo on the coverage.
Look, yeah, I'm playing great defense as well, huh?
Even when they're leading up by 18, they're still staying on their A game. Go ahead and grab the mics.
Oh, he just met Noah.
There's a carry up the middle. Be a gain of about 7 yards. Zion as well. Likely they're just going to get their backup guys in. Same situation as both Lighthouse and Freedom were doing yesterday. Just get their second string and third string players some reps in and get them ready to go.
Absolutely, because you never know when injuries come around or sickness comes around and the next guy has to come in, especially young guys. It's a perfect time for them to come in and get some reps in.
Third down and 4. Just running down here, pitch, and there's Josh Harrison with the carry, short of the first down marker, and brings it down to 2:16 left to go in regulation. As you'll see right here from our sideline cam what happened.
As you can see right here, this nice little toss play.
Okay, here we go.
We got one.
Perfect wrap up for that defense.
Remember what I said?
Take notes, because that's what you want to do in a perfect little wrap up situation.
He doesn't know what that means.
First of all,
Now 4th down and 3.
Anyway, if he's in back.
Don't jump. Those guys on the front line know don't jump.
10, 9. Tell Matthew to stay on his
Actually, the
side.
clock was winding down a little bit ago. It'll be 1:40 left to go in regulation as Zion will get the first down and a little bit more. Decent carry from Kaiser. Kaiser's got open space, getting free and to the end zone. No flags on the field, and a touchdown for Zion.
Penalty markers on the field.
And now we have flags on the field, likely for unsportsmanlike.
Might be blocking the back there.
Looks like it was dropped. This going back.
During the run, blocking the back on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Blocking the back on the offense.
Touchdown overruled.
Saw that blocking the back slightly. If you honestly just let him go, you might have got a touchdown.
Had to bring up an Eagles. First down.
I mean, honestly, at this point, just finish.
Now on the 13-yard line. Zion trying to get a score at least. And toss to the right side. Pass made and reception. Tackle. Trying to get to the goal line. Just short. Touchdown.
It will be an Eagles.
Now you'll see on the replay, that's the question here of how close is that?
It's really,
I don't know
really
if,
close.
yeah, and I know the camera range is probably, even if it's on the goal line, it'd be really difficult to pick it up there. But you look towards, it looked like he may have stepped out of bounds at the one.
Short.
That's close.
He's short.
But the official right there has the best view. He signaled at first no time and then changed it to touchdown. It looked like at first he was trying to signal no time, which would indicate just short, but changed to touchdown.
He didn't call touchdown?
It's a touchdown.
What do they call it? Yeah, it's a touchdown. He called touchdown. He signaled touchdown.
So 1:16 left to go in regulation, and Zion just trying to make it a 10-point game as they toss it towards the end zone and two-point conversion, no good. So 1:16 left to go in the game, 30-18, things wrapping up here in Springfield.
Ben Short, along number 82, Matthew.
1:16 left to go in the game.
Hey, you see the table they've got their water on?
And the kick recovered. It was attempted onside kick that was covered by Micah Hendricks, the junior. It's a carry for a few yards down to about the 27-yard line.
Tackle made by host the Eagles.
70 seconds left.
Patriots, first down.
Likely victory formation here for South Haven with 70 seconds left.
Carly says no, I'm going to Hail Mary.
And it looks like a timeout called by Zion with 1:10 left to go. I guess they're just trying to get some last rep defenses, probably to get their backups in the last 70 seconds. Stay tuned. The Fairlife Core Power Protein post-game report is coming up in a few moments. We'll have the Extreme Player of the Game. We'll get an interview with Coach Sawyers, and Brendan and I will wrap it up here from Springfield.
All righty, Patriots fans, one more time. Stand up and show some love for your Lady Patriot cheerleader.
I literally forgot what I was going to say.
Come on, Patriots
Something
fans,
about post-game?
stand up, show some love.
Final 70 seconds as we'll see victory formation here. South Haven, good victory for them. They're headed down to next week. They're headed down to Antioch to face off against Lighthouse for a divisional matchup. But for Zion, they host their first home game in 8-man history against Franklin Classical.
Don't take 12 steps.
When I go to do the handshake, leave it on there. I'll close it out from there.
Scoot it back.
When I
You gotta
go
scoot
take
it back.
a screenshot for
Scoot Josh back.
Instagram.
Josh has got to scoot back.
Yep. Final seconds here in Springfield as they wind it down. Final victory formation. Final knee down, and for the Patriots, they start out the season 1-0, and for Zion Christian, they head back home with a loss. 30-18, the final score here in Springfield. The Fairlife Core Power Protein post-game report coming up in a few moments. Stick around.
When your workout ends, ours begins. Work hard, recover harder with Core Power. 26 grams of high-quality, complete protein.
You're on. You're on.
There's some mic picking it up like an ambient mic, but you'll probably get it on the recording. We should have audio over there.
I've got audio here.
It's like it's picking up the audio from one of the other mics. I might be able to refer it. Not even. Yeah, it's up here because you could hear even when you're tapping some stuff. Yeah, you can hear me talking to. So it's picking it up